Alright, so here we go. It's gonna be relatively not edited or anything. I'm just doing this in one fell sweep and then I'm just gonna upload it to YouTube. So, to use Quake Live as a training program for H1 requires you to do a couple conversions and utilize some settings in Quake Live that um, are not difficult, but it's just you need to know which ones to use. So, starting off, we're going to start off with making all of our settings in H1Z1 transferable over to Quake Live. So, number one, we look at our FOV. So, for example, this is in vertical degrees. H1Z1 uses vertical degrees FOV. If you want to convert that to Quake Live uses horizontal degrees with a 4-3 base. So all you do is you go over to FOV type, click on that, and then you go to horizontal degrees 4-3 base, and you click on that, and it automatically converts it. And this is all on the Most Sensitivity website. This is all free to use. So let's keep that there. If you scroll down, actually it won't show it there, but anyway, the command for FOV on Quake is CG underscore FOV, and then you input the value, which is 83.93. Now, next, if you want to match the FOV of the ADS on H1, you need to go back to vertical degrees, which is 68, and then you set the default to ADS. You re-input the FOV because it resets it every single time, and you look down. So right here, your actual vertical FOV. So this is the config FOV, it's the FOV that you input, but the FOV, the vertical FOV in H1 decreases when you ADS. So this is the actual vertical FOV. So you put that in your notepad and you go CG underscore zoom FOV is equal to that, which is 57.83. And that's in horizontal, or sorry, in vertical degrees. So that's incorrect. So sorry. You gotta go 57.83 in vertical degrees. And you gotta convert that to horizontal degrees with a 4-3 base, and it's 72.74. So you go CG underscore zoom FOV is equal to 72.74. Spread this apart with a semicolon, so it makes it easier to input all at once. And then you're good to go. We'll come back to this. So when you equate your two FOVs or when you match your two FOVs from two different games, you actually don't need to use view speed. So if you look at the conversions here, so if I were to, actually just trust me on this, okay? You don't need to use view speed. You can just go to 360 distance. And if you go from view speed, for example, 68 there, so it's 0.075564. So that's your H1 sensitivity. If you were to go from H1 and you go default that, and you want to convert it, doesn't really matter, and you want to convert it to Quake, you go like that. That's the value, more or less, that Quake gives you for 360 distance. Now, if you do the exact same conversion, so it's 1.354415. If you do the view speed conversion, I think you did it for Quake, or for H1. You use the correct FOV of 83.93. You get 1.354368, which is more or less the same sensitivity. It's pretty much negligible, any difference in that. So you don't need to buy premium to do this. So yeah, so you take the sensitivity, set sensitivity underscore, or 1.3543658. So you include that there. Add another semicolon to separate it. And yeah, now zoom is the next thing. So that's my sensitivity. So you go to zoom, and you set. That is your first sensitivity, so that's your that's just like your hipfire sensitivity in Quake. And then your sensitivity 2 is actually your initial FOV, so your hipfire FOV, which you have right here, which is your CG underscore FOV, so A3.93. And then this FOV right here is your zoomed FOV, so you want to make that the same as H1, which is your ADS FOV, so you put a 72.74 there. And that gives you your set CG underscore zoom sensitivity. You actually don't need that set button, but CG underscore zoom sensitivity 0.799424. By doing that, that gives you your ADS sensitivity matched to view speed. So now that we've got all that done, you're going to enter these commands as well. So you're going to go God mode, which makes it so you're unkillable against bots. And then you go G underscore infinite ammo 1. And then you go G underscore starting health 999. And then you go G underscore starting armor 999. And then you go G underscore knockback underscore RL, which stands for rocket launcher 0.0001, whatever. And then I'll include all these on the description of the video. And then you go bot underscore think time 0, which makes it so that they don't think, they just do. And then bot underscore challenge 1. Two optional ones are CG underscore third person 1, which makes it so that's third person character. I find this actually kind of difficult to use. It's difficult because, one, you don't get a crosshair, so you have to use like Overwolf or some other third person or third party program to provide a crosshair for you. And two, I find with a lightning gun it's really hard to use because like where you're aiming and where the lightning gun beam there's like a delay in between them, so it's really hard to distinguish where you're aiming. So, to reiterate, that's CG underscore FOV 83.93, that's your original FOV, your CG underscore zoom FOV, which is your ADS FOV, then your sensitivity itself, converted from view speed or just 360, and then CG underscore zoom sensitivity 0.799424, which is your zoomed multiplier, which works out that it does view speed for you. The issue with this, so if you want to get this value from your H1 value, if I've given you like an H1 sensitivity, it has to be a view speed converted sensitivity to start with. If it's not a view speed converted sensitivity to start with, it won't work. So I would recommend just subscribing to this website. It's awesome. It literally works for like so many games. It's nutty, honestly. And yeah, so that's more or less where I'm going to take that. Now let's hop into Quake. You're going to start off with dev map Thunderstruck FFA. So this is a map that you can use like essentially the equivalent of SV underscore cheats 1 in CSGO. So you can use God mode and stuff, and it's a good map for training on. And you go ahead and join the match, and you take that notepad that I was using prior, you copy all of that, and you paste it right there. Like so. That'll set all your sensitivities, that'll set your God mode, starting health, armor, knockback on the rocket launcher so it's not super annoying. And then all you do is you go add a bot, and then you go down, 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 down. You have two choices. You can use either Sarge or Slash. Both of them are pretty good. Sarge jumps a lot. It's kind of annoying. He doesn't move as quickly side to side. And I find that Slash is personally better for tracing. Whereas Sarge is better Sarge is a better starter, but Slash will make you a better player. So you set the skill to Nightmare, and you add the bot. So now that that's set, you basically use two guns. You use number 6, which is the lightning gun. So number 6 on just press 6 on your keyboard. That provides you the lightning gun. Lightning gun is a tracing weapon. So you just trace the bot like so. I have like 60 FPS. This is impossible. Then you can zoom to mimic ADSing like in H1. Like so. And then the second weapon you can use is the railgun, which is good for flicking. I find the railgun is what makes your shotgun strong in H1. Again, you can ADS with this as well by holding right click. And yeah, that's pretty much all you do. You just, well, actually, okay, I'll go into a little bit more depth. So, the speed on Quake is much higher than H1. But you can mimic it closer to H1 by using this command. It's called timescale. So this essentially slows down the game. So you go timescale. I found that 0.7 is pretty close to ADS strafing speed. So you can just sit here and you can trace the head. Like so. And then if you wanted to go back to normal, you just go timescale 1.0. And that puts back to normal speed. Choose whatever you want to do. It's up to you, but that's more or less how I trade on Quake. Thank you for watching. And good luck in your training, guys.